when you go into a job, what's going to be the first reassurance or the first question you're going to ask of a potential new chairman, director of football club to know that it's the right next step for you in your career?
I don't think there's a perfect answer because you've got different boards, you've got different like sometimes different panels who would interview you. You know, is it the director of football? Is it the owner? Is the owner hands-on? Is the owner hands-off? Who's the runners and riders involved? Once you define them, I'd go for the feel of a club. So usually, let's have it right, you know the feel of a club, maybe location. Like Burnley, I went in there. My strap line was, I'm not going to guarantee it'll be amazing football. What I will guarantee, you'll have a team that puts sweat on the shirt. Because that part of the country, tough times, and a bit about the history, you know, real downtrodden at times plays, and a bit down on its luck. If I was a fan, I thought I'd want to see people wear that shirt and give their lot. Mm-hmm. So I thought, right, okay, that's a start point. For example, different parts of the country, different social aspect, different feel about the club. You'd probably look at that. I'd look at that as well. Look at the playing staff. This is what it requires, in my opinion. So then I'd give an overview of, right, okay, I know a bit about your club, I know a bit about your staff, I've seen the last 5 years of growth, let's say. Where do you think it can go now? They tell you they think it usually can go to the stratosphere. Right, okay, well, let's maybe cool that down a little bit. You know, what's the reality? And that kind of scenario, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's not a one size fits all situation because you've got a lot of different clubs, a lot of different feels about it. You know, right, so an extreme example, so probably changed slightly, but you know, Tottenham are always the footballing fancy dans of London, let's say.
Lads, it's Tottenham. Alex Ferguson's
right.
famous.
And then Pochettino did brilliant. I thought he changed that perception massively. And let's have it right because he got them running, really running. So there's a change of he took the fact we're still going to play, which they did, but he had them playing harder, not necessarily tougher like tackling tough, but, you know, running hard, working hard, but still playing. So there's a shift. You know, he's gone in and said, right, we're still going to be Tottenham and we still are going to be a really good footballing side, but we're going to have a much harder edge about us and we're going to be fit as you like. And that's what he did. Yeah. So there's an example. Well, that's an example that I would use as being taking what's there, but adding your, you know, instinct and your feel of what it was. And Trips would vouch for that because he was there and he said Pochettino's pre-season, he said it absolutely smashes yours, Gaffer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what about the players then? Because there's that great phrase, you only get one chance to make a good first impression. When you next walk into a dressing room?
Well, okay, so let's imagine this. You know, earlier on we were talking about you fit in a box or you live in a box, right? Well, I probably would, wouldn't I? So probably if I walk into whatever dressing room, you know, should someone offer me a job, probably going to go, all right, he's probably going to be pretty disciplined, probably going to work us pretty hard, probably going to want a lot from us, probably going to be, I would imagine, pretty honest, probably going to be honest with himself and what we're about, and probably going to be a bit of one of us type thing. I might have that wrong, but I would think that's probably a feel, a generalised feel. What you hope then is within all that, because by the way, they will get all that, but then afterwards they go, mind you, I think I can, you know, I can associate with him, I can appreciate, I can see him, I can go and speak with him, and then once they get to know you a bit better, they go, yeah, actually, all right. That's the bit that I think would be a bit more unknown, you know, a bit of weird chatting.
What do you think would take them by surprise?
Good looks, fashion sense. No, I don't know.
You do, but
I just think maybe approachable.
I
think more approachable.
Yeah.
Most people who work with me, players and that, go, oh, no way, you know, I can approach, I can talk to the gaffer about.
And do you get ahead of it? Would you go in and go, listen, lads, you think you know what you're getting here? You think you're getting this and this and this and this, and you've seen me do this and this. But here's the reality.
No, I think when I went into Burnley, because I was a one-season manager, I said, this is what you're going to get from me. Told them, and this is what I'd expect from you. But I think now it's slightly different because they probably, you know, they've got all these opinions, but I'd still be pretty clear and go, look, this is what I think we can offer you. It was always about the players for me. So it'd be them. I'd go, this is what we feel, or I feel as manager, these staff, let's imagine you take some staff in. This is what we're prepared to give to you. This is what we feel is going to be important for you. Because I always think if you can affect the person, you'll affect their performance. So therefore, it's about them, not about me. And that still links in with the brand thing, you know, from back at the beginning of this conversation. The brand is about them. I do what I do because I think they've got a chance to grow, mature, and do well from it, and I'll do well if they do well. So that was always my thought on it.
So can I ask you a killer question that any potential employer would ask you? Because seeing you come here today, you look really well. You look like there's a lot of stress that's come off you. You look in good shape. So why on earth would you want to go back into that world?
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's a little bit of perception as well. You know, you've got to remember, so taking away jobs and no jobs, I've been on holiday a few times, believe it or not, I do get a little bit of a tan. I do generally look after myself. People don't normally see me like this, for another thing. They just see me in a suit and a tie and all that. I virtually always get, you're taller than I thought, you're skinnier than what I thought. They're the two biggest things. You know, so some of it is just your mind. I don't think I looked incredibly stressed at the end of last season when I came out.
No, but I'm contrasting it to when we met you in December 2019.
Yeah, what I would say is, okay, are you refreshed? If I was there, I'd be saying, are you though? You might look it, but are you? Are you refreshed? Are you ready to go again? Can you think that you're going to offer more, or at least what you've been offering, but are you going to stimulate more from yourself, from your staff, from the players, of course? That would be their question, I imagine. I don't know.
But I'm asking it of you because I think like the lessons that you've got and some of the wisdom that you've acquired over the years is surely applicable far wider than just going into a dressing room running.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, going beyond, not beyond football, but around football, I have enjoyed chatting like this because you get a chance to open up a little bit about, you know, take away some of the myths maybe and offer an opinion. I've done a few podcasts, quite some social. This is obviously a different thing because we're quite in depth about it, but some have just been, you know, little things about yourself, about life, about managing and all that sort of stuff. The media, I've been offered lots of media. The reason why I haven't done I know this media, the big, you know, the obvious media is because you put an opinion out there, as we know, it gets smashed about everywhere, and you go, hang on a minute, I didn't say that, and I didn't say it in that way. So I'm a bit wary of that because I'm still what I consider myself an active manager. If there comes a time when I step beyond that, I'd go out and say, right, this is what I think. But at the minute, don't think anyone needs my opinion greatly. So I haven't done much of that. Football-wise, I've backed down from that to give myself a chance to sort of rejuvenate my thirst. Not that I needed it energy-wise, but to go, right, when I'm ready to go back in, I am ready. I'm really ready.
And are you ready now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've had I've had a few beers with my mates and took them away and games of golf and all that sort of stuff. Not been mad about the football. That was the point, sorry. You know, I haven't been obsessing about football. People ringing me and saying, oh, did you see this game, see that game? I'm like, no, you know, stepped away from all that. But then slowly but surely, you imagine you nick a game here and there and you watch a game. I watched a few games, but I've been casual, social, you know, not in suits and all that. Forest, my family relocated to Nottingham, so I've been down to Forest a few times at the end of last season and the beginning of this season. Things like that, you know what I mean? But not...
And it sounds so idyllic what you're doing now, right? So why go back in? Because as you've already said, it is a game full of opinion. It is a game
you're right.
that loves to twist what you say or apply the pressure.
Well, I don't think I go back into anything.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time in my life when you probably just have to get your next job. Maybe you want to come out of Watford. Yeah. I don't think I have to do that. I certainly don't financially. That's not a clever comment. You can all imagine the Premier League is just one of them leagues. It looks after you and people around you. So there's none of that pressure, which is a nice position to have as regards thinking about jobs. You know, you're not under pressure to be pushed into a job. But to be honest, I've been in it all my life, you know, and it's a thing. Football's a thing. It's not, you know what I mean? The win, it wasn't, the love of football is a different thing for me. I love the winning. I love the management. I love the organising. I love the idea of giving more to someone else to allow them to have a career that hopefully is beyond my career as a player. I like that. I like that feedback from that. You know what I mean? I mean, Kieran Trippier, he FaceTimed me when they won La Liga. He FaceTimed me off the pitch. Wow. I mean, that is
when they won the title.
Yeah, and I'm just like, Trips, what on earth? You know what I mean? That means so much to me. I'm just going like, you know, because he knows that I had a reaction with him and him with me where it rubbed off on him. And that means a lot to me. Things like that mean as much to me as all sorts of different things that happen in my career. So building that rapport, and not just him, ex-players. I get messages from ex-players. Gaffer, thanks for, you know, this, thanks for that and all that. That means a lot, I think. You know what I mean? And I really like that side of not just the love of the game so much, but the, you know, people. Doing something good by people is a good situation. And I really like that. So that's a bit of a drug of mine, you know what I mean? When you really feel like you're connected with someone, you've given them a chance, not just me, my staff, the environment, the culture. You know, it's not always just a me and you thing, but I really like that. I think you've rubbed off on someone and affected them. I think that's a really powerful thing.
And I think it's great that you're not sitting here feeling burned or feeling scorned or disillusioned with the game, because I think from the outside, I think it's very odd to remove a manager with a decade's worth of experience at a football club with 8 games to go, with the riches of the Premier League on the line, and replace them with novices. Right? It feels like no other business in the land does that outside of football. And I think then it's easy for you to feel disillusioned with the game. But I get the impression that that's not the emotion at all.
No, I've always had a good value, I think, is to be reality bound. You know, it's from my parents. Always like, you know, be reality bound. You know the situation you're in. As long as you know the situation you're in, and we all know football, I certainly do, it can be a very taxing, very unfair business, but it can be an amazing business as well. So I know what it's like. My story is minimal compared to some stories I've heard. You know, managers getting mad stuff happen to them. You know what I mean? And mine's pretty low compared to that. So I go, right, okay, what's the reality of the job I'm in? Can it go pear-shaped? Can you lose games? I'd been saying for years at Burnley, not a negative. I said, my day will come just because that's the way football works. You know, one day people just get bored of your rhetoric and they go, right, we want change. You know, they get changed and they go, you know, that's the way it goes. So how do you define all these things? But no, I'm certainly not, you're right, I'm not, there's no anger or anything. There wasn't at first either. There wasn't. Yeah. I genuinely mean it. I just went, okay, that's the way it goes. Doesn't mean I was happy about it either, by the way. Let's make that clear. But you spend a long time being, you know, thinking you've been hard done by in your life, and it drains the life out of you, all that. It saps the life out of you. If you get too much into that world of woe is me, saps the life out of you, that de-energise you for your life, let alone your profession.
Just a quick one to say thank you so much for watching this content on the High Performance channel. We would love it if you would subscribe. You know, most people that watch what we do don't subscribe. If you can subscribe, we can make this bigger, better, bolder than we've ever done before. So hit subscribe right now and help the High Performance Podcast make a real difference to the world. See you soon.